Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Loshi. I'm a certified emotion code practitioner. I'm here live every Saturday with John. I live in beautiful Victoria, BC, on an island on the west coast of Canada, and we're here every Saturday. Today is episode 100 something, and we're pretty pleased to be here for 3 years now. So thanks for joining us, and let's welcome John. Good morning, John.
Yes, hey, my name's John Inverarity, certified emotion code, certified body code practitioner. And yeah, the other half of the bro show here. So welcome everyone. Say hi in the comments if you're watching live. Say hello, let us know where you're from. And again, yeah, looking for a couple volunteers later on. So we're gonna explain the process of the emotion code, work on 2 people, show you how it's done. And yeah, I think we're on episode 149. Hey, what did we do last week?
Last week was I forget, but
menopause.
Yeah, you know what? 149. We just stopped kind of counting, but we're just, but we love being here for you. And a couple little things coming up. Start for the first 3 Fridays in June, depending on when you're watching this, June 2020, the pandemic year. During the 2020, the first 3 Fridays in June, there's a special edition of the Emotion Code. But it's not with John, it's with my friend Helena. Mm-hmm. And we're doing it at night because it's an adult show. Yeah, I said it. It's at 8 o'clock at night Pacific, which is 11 o'clock Eastern, which is very late, but it's kind of a night version. And we are going to be helping people that want to be helped around any intimacy challenges. That could be physical intimacy, it could be mental intimacy. And we're not scared to use the words and the terms and the body parts. So if that's you, join me on this Facebook page the first 3 Friday nights in June, 8 o'clock Pacific, 8, 9, 10, 11 Eastern, with my friend Helena, a fellow practitioner. Okay, John, why don't you take a peek out there, tell me who's saying what, and tell people what we're looking for today.
Absolutely. So if you're watching live, say hello, and you know what, let us know where you're from. And we are looking for 2 volunteers who, admit they're just a wee bit stubborn or really stubborn. Or, go ahead.
Babies, stubborn kids.
Stubborn kids.
Yeah, you might have a child that's stubborn. We can work on your children via the parent, or maybe it's you. Maybe we'll start with the mother.
Maybe you, or maybe it's your sibling. Tag your brother. Tag your sister. So John, okay, hello, Natasha. She's here as well, as always, I should say. Elaine Goldman's here, says hello, Michael John.
Elaine, Natasha, good morning. Willa Vera's with us.
Hey, Willa from Georgia. Yeah. Joan Lawrence from the UK.
Okay. Jennifer from Rainy and Thunder in Seattle. Well, you know what? That's something we don't get here is thunder. Do you ever get thunder in Vancouver?
Rarely.
When I lived in the Maritimes in New Brunswick, we got thunder. We got like the clap thunder. Do you know what that is? Where it's a big crack. But I don't really, and Jennifer's just south of us, so maybe the clouds are hovering around Seattle and causing that thunder, but I used to love thunder. Hey, Margaret's with us from beautiful sunny Ireland, and Doug Collins from Halifax, Nova Scotia. So we've got Ireland, United States, Canada, and anybody else, UK from Joan Lawrence. Kind of fun this morning. Mm-hmm. And again, John, tell our friends what they need to, maybe give us an example of their stubbornness. What do they need to do to be on the ballot today?
So watching live and volunteer in the comments, just say, I volunteer. Give us a little context severity and say, I'm always told I'm stubborn or headstrong or, difficult or unbendable, that kind of thing. So there's a few different, definitions there for what we're looking for, but simple as that. Just be watching live and volunteer. And
maybe what you're stubborn about.
Yeah.
Maybe you're stubborn to forgive somebody.
Good one.
No. Let's go out the room again. We have DK, that must be Denmark. Annette from Jensen from Denmark. Okay, welcome.
Yeah.
Annette. And Sylvia Holtrop is from Iowa. Who else?
Cass McCrae's giving us a wave.
Oh, is he? I don't see him yet, but good morning, Cass McCrae.
A little wave. Who else is here? I think we got a volunteer with Willa.
Okay, we just need some more information, Willa, but we'll put you on the list of possibilities. our friend Permelia from Vancouver Island, where I live. I love this show. I always learn something new from you guys watching from cloudy Parksville. Okay.
Weather updates.
Weather
Nice.
updates from everywhere.
Yeah. What's it doing in Iowa, Sylvia? Some sun, some clouds, some rain, some thunder, some lightning.
Well, listen, I've become a balcony farmer, not intentionally.
Yeah.
You know, I have a beautiful balcony, and every year I go to the garden. I make a big deal of it. And this year I just didn't want to go. I did go to one, and there was a big lineup, and I thought, not going to do that. So my friend Helena, that you heard me talk about, she lives in the country, and she was at a farm, and she said, hey, do you want me to bring you some groceries, some fruits and vegetables? And I said, yes. And she goes, and then when I got my order, she bought some lettuce plants, like 2 or 3 different kinds in the little pots. And I on my balcony, now I'm harvesting lettuce, not a leaf. I'm harvesting lettuce, you know, like with the big horn of plenty. So yeah, I've got so much lettuce going on. But I decided I wasn't going to grow tomatoes because they are daily work. They're like having a kitten. You got to water them, and then they look ugly near the end, and I don't like that. So
no tomatoes this year.
Harvesting lettuce for the neighbors.
Kittens.
Nice. I also want to bring to people's attention that I have developed a technique or mastered a technique to how to help you identify emotions 100 times faster. Yeah, I said it. Is it taking you 2 hours or 2 25-minute sessions or something to do a heart wall? It is possible you could do that 100 times faster. And I can help you with that. So if you look up in the description, there's a link that talks about this 100 times faster video course that I did. It's 22% off right now. It's about $100. So how much speed can you have if you can do everything much faster than I'm saying 100 times faster because I mastered it and I got it good. Your first time, well, you won't get 100. You'll get about 50% faster, and then you'll get better. So if you could serve a client 50% faster, you could probably cut your 40-minute sessions to 25-minute sessions. And now you're working in 25-minute sessions. Now you could have 2 clients in 1 hour instead of 1. Do the math. I know you already have. Let me help you do that. If you have any questions about that program, let me know in the chat. So John, today we are here and we are wanting to help a couple people that have stubbornness issues, self-proclaimed stubborn people, maybe unwillingness to forgive. We're going to wait and hear for them, but let's talk about that. You know, I'm talking about the emotions here. You know, this is Dr. Brad's emotion code chart, and unprocessed emotions are emotions that hashtag you never processed. Then people say, well, how do you process an emotion? Is it like a clerical thing? Process it, stamp it, process it? No, it's not like that.
No rubber
Process is to dissolve it. How do you dissolve an emotion? Guess what? You get ticked off, you yell and you scream and you break dishes and you get that negative feeling out. And you ever notice when you do that, you'll say, oh, that feels much better. In our world, we say, oh, I just felt the release of an unprocessed negative emotion that was a baseball energy size. I feel so much better.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
That's what it really is.
Yeah.
So whether it's physical pain in your neck that you can't bend or your lower back, and guess what? When we delete, I'm going to show you the magnet. When we delete that emotion, then you feel relief. Relief is the absence of negative emotion. So, that feels much better. So, whew, that feels much better. So it's okay to get ticked off and to break dishes and kick the can and maybe swear, as long as you do it. How long, John? As long as you do it.
Briefly.
Now, if you're doing this and you're into the 3rd hour, that's not brief. So get rid of it. Process it really quickly.
Or
so
move to the mountains.
What's that?
Or you could move to the mountains and just meditate for 12 hours a day.
That's right. And just avoid the world altogether. But, you know, people are getting flared up a lot. And these are unprocessed trapped emotions that are being double clicked on and triple clicked on. Mm-hmm. And there's different ways that these emotions, John, why don't you tell us a couple sources where they might have this emotion of stubbornness? Where could it come from?
You know, day to day at work or with your family, the dinner table, you know.
It could be your own emotion. It could be your own stubbornness that you experience. What else? Yeah. I'm looking for inherited.
You can be born with it as well.
For 500, please.
Yeah. Does it run in the family? Are you stubborn just like your mom?
Yeah, you could say that. It's like DNA, except it's vibrational DNA. your mom or dad might have had an experience where they experienced stubbornness, and then it got lodged within them, and they never processed it because they didn't know how and didn't know how. And now you were born with that, and now you're just like your dad. You're just like your mother.
Oh,
don't take your father.
No, I'm not.
Don't be like your father. Well, guess what? You're like your father or your mother if they are stubborn, because there's an unprocessed trapped emotion called stubbornness. So we could be born with it, and we could get our own. And then there is the ugly one, in my opinion. It's the absorbed one. What does that mean, John?
We take it on from someone else. So you got like a wet sponge, that's the other person, and you're the dry sponge, and they kind of just like, vent or whatever, and squeeze the sponge, and the water goes into the dry sponge, and that's you. And you just take on, you absorb their stuff. Yeah. Who wants that?
And I know some people know that they feel that they're around a negative event or a negative person, and that person leaves, and they're thinking, oh my God, I can just feel that person's energy. Well, you can feel it, and you've now absorbed it. So these are different ways that you could have this trapped emotion called stubbornness. And it is likely that stubbornness is caused by stubbornness, and it could be what's the word I'm looking for, caused by other emotions called stubbornness. So we're looking today to help delete your stubbornness. John, what does the magnet do?
So we take the magnet, well, once we surface that emotion, we'll go through that process when we're doing our demo here. And so the process kind of like brings it up from the depths of within you, and the magnet basically deletes it. But we take it and we swipe it over our head, and you can't see it, but in there is the governing meridian, and that meridian connects up to all the other meridians in your whole energetic body, and so that just basically just flushes it out and vaporizes it into thin air.
That's right.
Magic.
We're connected to the client, so and if you pretend it's like a little pretend thread, right? So this is my cartoon head. This magnet is breaking this circuit, so you don't pick it up, and so you delete it from, because we're doing this on their behalf. That's the cartoon version of what the magnet does, and why we use magnets. So the rule here with being able to delete the emotions, we need to identify it, then it needs to be deleted. And that's what we do. We're identifiers and deleters. That's not on our business card, but identifiersanddeleters.com. Hey, I like that. So we identify emotions. Now, a lot of people say, oh, I got stress, I'm just going to delete stress. John, tell me about stress. Is it on the chart?
Stress is the catch-all term.
That's right.
And it's all of this. So it's kind of like, what triggers your stress? And it's different for everyone, right? But, they're all here on the chart. There's 60 of them. And, stress is like a main contributing factor to a lot of different, health concerns, diseases, illness, mental health concerns, right? Like it's all this.
Yeah. If you think about, this is my when I use the word cartoon head, it's my interpretation to make it how I understand it. I'm not saying it's the way it is. An unprocessed trapped emotion is a negative ball of energy. And this negative ball of energy is stopping and blocking and diluting the natural positive flow of positive energy. So that positive energy can't get to those places that it needs to get to because of this ball of negative energy. If I poof this energy away and delete it, guess what? The channels are open again. So this ball of energy was stopping the ease of flow to your body parts.
Wow. Nice.
Untag cartoon head from Michael.
Cartoon head, yeah. Stopping that energy flow.
I'm reading the chat. We're looking for 2 people. We need to know the severity and problem of your stubbornness or your children's stubbornness. What's the severity? What is the stubbornness? What's the severity? Give us permission, and we'll work with people.
Yeah, absolutely. Little context. So what is it? How long has it been around? How often a day? How many times a day are you told your
When does it flare up? Yeah. So Olivia is asking a really good question, and we wish we had a spray for that. Wouldn't it be nice, John, to have a spray? And it's called, can you protect from absorbing others? Well, I don't know the end. Well, I'm going to say no. You can have a shield, you can put spray and oil, but there's still a possibility that you can. There's no proven way to stop absorbing them. And if somebody knows of a proven way, put it in a bottle and let me know.
I'd say, yeah, I'll touch on this a little bit. It's yes and no. So it depends on, where you're at, where your vibe is at. So if you're in like a high vibe state, you're bulletproof to other people's stuff, right? If you're in a low vibe state, or it's sort of matching someone else's energy, then you're going to take it on. You're just other, right? Back and forth. So it's kind of like that law of attraction, that positive and that negative, and that zero right in the middle. But if you're doing this work and you're doing emotion code and body code, regularly, I would say that is the best way to prevent yourself from taking on other people's stuff, right?
That's a good point. Kind of like being in their energy. I'm going to tell you a quick little story. I worked on a client this week, 35-year-old guy. He was shy and he's nervous and he's scared of people, and his body reacts when people look at him. It's been like that for 10 years. And I found out in a half hour through muscle testing, and he didn't tell me anything else. And I was testing, and I said, so it feels like, through muscle testing, I said, something happened when you were 20 years old where you took on some emotions. And he got really quiet. And then he goes, I've been in therapy for 10 years and I've been with you for 8 minutes. And he said, I was strangled when I was 20 years old.
Oh, geez.
So the emotions that he had were mostly not his. They were absorbed from the strangler.
Yeah.
And they were rage and fury and the other ones, right? And they're not just a quick little 3 swipes, by the way. In my work, I said, well, how many swipes it's going to take to get rid of that? And probably within 10 minutes. And I said, so what are you feeling? He said, well, it's always hard to describe the absence of the problem. And he says, I just feel different. He goes, I can't tell if it's a physical feeling or a safety feeling, but imagine being strangled from behind. So he was always nervous. If anybody looked at him, it would trigger that he's going to get beat up. And he felt inferior to all these feelings that he was having. They're all valid, caused by that one event when he was 20 years old.
Right. Yeah.
I'm telling you that to say that most of his emotions were absorbed and they weren't even his, but they were affecting his life greatly.
Crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. Who else is here? Gloria is here. Says good morning. Sharon DeRose is here. Says hi from Burlington.
Sharon's here. Gloria's here. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions they want to ask us? It doesn't look like we have any stubborn people, or you might be just too stubborn to put your hand up and let us know. This is the time to delete that habit. Not you, but somebody you know.
Yeah. Kids too, again, just a reminder. Yeah.
Are you unbendable? Is there somebody that you're unwilling to forgive? Maybe it's not that serious an event, or maybe it is. That's stubbornness. We'd like to help you today. If you're interested, let us know what we can. John, we're 20 minutes into the show. We don't have a volunteer. So this is the opportunity to do that. What other topic would you like us to cover in the future? If you didn't like stubbornness, so what subject?
What is it? Yeah.
Okay, maybe they're waiting for the adult sex show with Helena and I Friday night.
This Friday.
First 3 Fridays of June.
June, yes.
Okay, I'm just scanning here. Okay, again, here's the rule. If you want to participate, let us know the severity of the problem, give us permission, and where are you unwilling to forgive? Where are you unbendable? And where does your attitude just put you in a position where you don't want to change and you just kind of put your feet in the heels in the sand, or whatever that's called? Is that what it's
digging
called?
Them in. Yeah.
Heels in the sand?
So you're like digging them in, right?
Yeah, digging your heels in the sand. If that's you, we can help you with that. We need to have those three conditions and able to do our work.
Yeah, Gloria is saying, Gloria M. Padilla says, yes, unforgiveness.
Yeah. So Gloria, tell us what she said. She's 67 and she gives permission, but we don't know what your forgiveness is. It about a person or a thing or a revenge? Just tell us a little bit so we can double click on that much better.
Is it yourself?
So Will is saying, my whole family is stubborn and refuses to listen to positive advice. Okay. Again, you guys are just telling about this, but you're not asking us to do anything. So keep, you can tell us, but if you want work done, you need to let us know and give us permission.
Yeah.
My God, what a stubborn crowd today. Did we vibe this?
Yeah.
Let's attract stubborn people today to the Stubborn Show.
Yeah.
I get it.
Person. So Gloria is saying a person. Unforgiveness to a person. 67. Give permission.
Okay, I don't see that yet. So just.
And herself too. It's coming in.
Okay. Yeah, it's too confusing for me. If you want to do work with us today, you need to put on one comment. Give us permission, give us the severity, tell us the problem. Willa Vera saying, I won't work, you have permission. I don't know what that means. Gloria says person. So I don't know. John, you pick somebody.
More.
And Willa says
Yeah.
19. What's a 19? Yeah. I'm gonna delete my peevedness right now because I'm peeved.
Yeah, you got something there.
Instructions.
Tammy says, my name is Darren Chirick, and I have a hard time with forgiveness to my wife.
That's what we want to hear.
9 is severity. It's under the name Tammy, but the name is Darren, so it's.
Tammy, are you asking for your husband Darren on his behalf without his permission?
Darren's
or is
logged into
Darren
Tammy's
using Tammy's chart?
profile.
Yeah, profile. We need to know the difference.
Yeah. Jennifer says some days are harder than others.
Yeah, today's a tough bird, I can tell you that.
Yeah. Gloria put some more information. Okay. So that's something we can work with there. So she says, my 3 adult children died and I blame myself and others.
I don't see where that's stubbornness. So we can help you with that, but I don't think we can help you with that today. I mean, I appreciate that, but what's the stubborn part of that?
It's unforgiveness, I think. Yeah.
I don't see that. If you see that, you can work with her, but I don't see that. Sorry. I'm being a little bit stern today because we want to help people.
Right.
So I'm just not going to say very much until we get volunteered.
Darren is using Tammy's Facebook. Yeah. So Darren.
I'm going to find out if that's true. I'm not saying that it's not true, but I've had instances where people have said they've had somebody's permission and they did. I'm not saying that's you, Tammy. I'm just saying we have to be real careful that we are having permission. Okay, where are we at here? Okay, you know what? I want to work with Jennifer Towner. I see exactly. We worked with her before. We usually don't do double dippers, but she followed the instructions perfectly. So I'm going to choose Jennifer.
Oh.
I have issues forgiving my sister for not wanting to help me with my coaching business. I'm a 6 about a 10. Okay, good. So welcome everybody. I'm about to do the first emotion code session at 25 minutes after the hour. So Jennifer, I appreciate you stepping up to the plate. So here's what's going to go down. I'm going to connect with Jennifer with her subconscious mind. And through muscle testing, I'm going to find out which one of these emotions on the emotion code chart, and then there's another 90 of them on this chart, which one of these emotions, I'll find out when it happened, what's the emotion, because it might not have to do with her sister. It could have been an old emotion that got double clicked on and flared up. So I'm going to do that for... good. Okay, so I'm muscle testing right now, and I'm making sure that am I hydrated enough? So, yes, you are. Okay, I'm just going to connect with Jennifer Towner. I think it's a repeat connection, so it should be easy. Yeah, am I Jennifer Smith? No. Am I Michael Towner? Am I Jennifer Towner? You know, I was telling Michael, now I'm muscle testing, I'm using her voice. You know, I was telling Michael about the severity of not forgiving my sister. You know, I wanted her to help me with my business, and I'm feeling some stubbornness or something. I don't want to forgive her. Is that true? Yes. What is the severity of this? 1, 2, 8 out of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And how many emotions make this up? Under 5, under 4. These are yeses. Under 3. No, it's not under 3. So, is it over 3? Oh, no. Is it 3? It's 3. So now I got to find out which one it is. So I'm just scanning the chart with my fingers. It's confusion, defensiveness, and our good old friend stubbornness. So did all 3 of those emotions get lodged at the same time? When? How many years ago? Over 1, 2, 1, 12, 13, 14, 15 months ago. So I'm going to delete it. So I'm deleting confusion. I have the magnet. I'm connected. I don't want to take it on, but with intention, I'm deleting it. I'm deleting confusion. The next one, I'm deleting defensiveness. The next one, I'm deleting stubbornness. I'm just going to do a couple things silently. Okay, I'm just going to check the other chart that I have. Is there anything on this chart? Scapegoat. Is this my trauma of scapegoat? Trauma of scapegoat. Is there anything? Now, what is the severity of my unwillingness to forgive my sister because she didn't want to work in my business? Before today, it was a 10, and now it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So is it okay that my sister didn't want to work in my business, even though she might have said she did? Yes. Was that okay before today? No. So am I worthy about that experience? Yes. And is it safe that she doesn't want to help me? Yes. So did I completely change my opinion about my sister not wanting to help me? Yes. Am I done with this? Yes. There we go.
Nice.
Oh, I'm going to ask one more question. Do I have a heart wall with my sister? I do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, A, B, 1, 2, 3, 5, stubbornness. Deleting this heart wall of stubbornness with my sister. Deleting my, and just in case, hidden heart wall of stubbornness with my sister. Now, do I have a heart wall with my sister? No. Did I? I did. Okay. So in my work, I do heart walls. I do the heart wall with the world, which is the heart wall with everybody and how you present yourself to the world. And then I do a heart wall with specific persons. So
right.
Yeah. The other day I did a heart mom with 4 kids, and she had a heart wall with each kid. And when I said it, she said, it's like you're looking on our family photos. She said, you nailed the challenge that I have with everything from stubbornness to, what was another one? Stubbornness, rejection, something like that. She said, wow, you nailed it. And I said, well, I'm not nailing anything. I'm not guessing. Your subconscious mind is telling me that. So Jennifer, why don't you give me a quick little update about how you feel about your sister now, and see if it feels different, if that negative emotional charge is out of the way. If so, let me know. Okay, good stuff. Okay, anything out there for you, John?
Not getting a lot of details.
Okay, well, we came out with intention today. Maybe we need to do a better job. No, we don't need to do a better job. We did a good job. We told people what we needed, and maybe the subject was not interesting. So here's how we'd like to end today's show. We'd like to have 5 suggestions on something that you'd like to work on that maybe we can make it into a future show. We have shows planned. John and I tossing back 4 ideas that I had, and apparently they weren't good enough. So now you can tell me, because I'm trying to send the positive vibration. So give us some suggestions, and that's how we're going to wrap up today's show, is to hear from you about some ideas on what we can bring to a future show. Who's going to be first with an idea? Now, Jennifer's saying, I do feel a bit better. I'm not surprised about the heart wall. So again, this is something just to observe, over the days, and maybe if you get an email from your sister, you might feel a little bit more love and tenderness towards her. So it's most times we can feel the emotion code change right away. Then sometimes it's like slow release fertilizer. Yeah. It's like over time, it's like, wow, you know what? I didn't blow up at my sister today when I would have last week. I'm starting to notice some change. I said it earlier, sometimes it's difficult to talk about the absence of it. It's like, oh, remember last week? How does your neck feel now? People said, well, it feels better. And I said, what's the number? It's 0. Well, that's not better. That's fantastic. Fantastic. That's what that is. Okay, one more refresh here. We're looking for ideas for future shows that we're going to be developing for you.
Ooh, Norma wants to see a show on blocks to reach life's purpose.
Okay, that's a good one. We're going to do we're definitely going to do a show on that. Well, first I have a little thing to say. It's not ready yet, but my book, Your Life's Purpose, this one right here, it has been out of print for a while. And Amazon just got shipped a box of those. So very shortly, they'll be for sale after months of not having hard copies. They're going to be for sale on Amazon. And it is all about life purpose. And this book explains what you need to be feeling, to feel fulfilled. And then when you feel fulfilled, then you're on purpose, right? Like, I love doing this. So what needs get met? Okay, it looks like my wife Tammy has been trying to get me to try this. Okay, you know what? Why don't we throw him a bone, because he was stubborn to get on, and he finally get on, and now we're resisting him. Tammy and him will never forgive us. John, do you want to take that on?
Yes.
Although it's not about stubbornness, it's about being angry all the time, but maybe he was stubborn to look into it. So guess what? We're going to make him fit into our criteria today. So.
Yeah, you can just see what's happening in the living room right now. Tammy's throwing the phone at him, and
Yeah. I also see a note from Chuck. And Chuck, I'm going to tell you what my personal, no, I'm not even going to say. I don't work with people that don't have a profile picture, just so you know. So although I do see your name and your comments there, I only work with people with profile pictures, so I can look at the picture while I'm doing the work. Yeah.
That's not stubborn.
I'm unbendable, and I'm willing. Well, you know what? Because spammers come on that don't have, people don't know it, but I'm deleting people during the chat that come on without a picture.
Right.
Yeah.
They put in their website or links or whatever.
That's right. So I appreciate your interest here.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's, John is going to do a session on Darren. He's 49. He's angry all the time. The severity is about a 10, and John's going to
just tuned in, connected up, Darren, to see what's happening. There's a invisible cord between us, and I'm connected to you now. Cool. Okay, so the intention is to eliminate this unwillingness to try this, and anger as well. Severity is a 9. So there's something else up there as well. Hard time with forgiveness to a wife. So just
they feel like they're in the same neighborhood. Yeah.
Okay, so is there a trapped emotion contributing to this, so that we can identify and clear out? Yeah, this is severity. I got severity 8, 9, 10, 9, 8, somewhere up there. It's up there, right? Yeah. So is there trapped emotion in column A? Yeah. So I'm looking at the chart right here.
Yeah, same chart.
Muscle testing. Talking to your subconscious here, Darren. And so not my subconscious, yours. Okay, so there's a trapped emotion in column A. Yeah. Is it an odd row? No, so it's an even row. Yeah. Okay. So even row is at 2. It's 4, A4. What's A4? We call that?
Oh, A4 is bingo. Bingo. A4 is anger. So I'm not surprised that we found that.
The hot box.
What else do you know about that, John? The anger.
Well, no, it's actually resentment.
Oh, A4. Oh,
the whole box.
Yeah, A4. I was looking at A41.
Okay.
Resentment. Okay. Yeah.
So we got that. So we got resentment. Part of the mix here. So we're just going to clear that. A little magnet on the back of my chart here. Release that. It's cleared. Yeah. All right. Still good to go here, Darren. Yeah. All right. The severity 8765. Okay. So another trapped emotion. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been lowered. Yeah.
Okay. Another one is rejection. Clear rejection. Let that go. Severity of 5, 4, 1. So another trapped emotion. Creating this, conflict, this anger, hard time forgiving wife, difficulty with wife, unbendable, headstrong, Darren.
Not willing to budge.
Conflict. We said that. We just said that one. Clear conflict.
That could be another show, because a lot of people have conflict with people. So
also inner conflict. Another trapped emotion here, Darren. 5. Dread. Dread. Fear of the future. Pending doom. Dread.
No goals for the future. No energy for the future.
All right. Another trapped emotion here, Darren. Identifying clear. No. All right. So is anything creating this anger, triggering this anger, or just unwilling to forgive with your wife? No. stubborn to try this and sort of move forward? No, I think that's it. Just a few there. Severity. See how it goes, Darren,
Yeah, Tammy
Might
could
not
give
be
us an
right
update
away.
next week if you're not around.
Yeah.
I'm sure she will. Yeah, we know that didn't take a lot of time, but the significance in the change could be like so dramatic.
Right. Yeah.
Unprocessed trapped emotions, they're just humming inside and they're flaring it up and they're getting people, if, for example, angry or thinking about angry or getting triggered to be angry. And once we take that little hot button out with the magnet, then it can't be touched and it can't be flared up.
Right. Yeah. Oh, and maybe join Michael and Helena next Friday.
To loosen up your stubbornness. Elena says, hi, where can I buy the emotion code chart? Well, you can get it on, you can just go to Google and search for it, but it comes from Dr. Brad's book. So I would recommend that you buy the book, the charts in it, all the definitions, and it talks a lot. The book's pretty thick, and honestly, most of it is success stories on how to use it and where it's been used. So you can download the chart off of Google, but and it's comes from the book, The Emotion Code. So we recommend everybody buy the book. First, to support Dr. Bradley, who over the years has developed the process and put a book together. So if nothing else, we all owe him the purchase of the book if we're going to be using it and so on. So ideally, that would be people's intention.
Yeah.
Pramelia, she said, well, she's now Pramelia's patronizing me because she says, how about a show on creative insecurity? Because she knows it's my favorite ever. I use creative insecurity every client, every session, every time period. Did we do a show on that specifically?
Oh, probably like 4.
What's that?
Probably 4 shows.
Probably
at least
4 shows. Okay, well, it can't be said enough. We'll consider that. Natasha says, what about motion sickness? We'll do that when the airlines get back to work because we might have, or maybe this is the time to clean up motion sickness.
Yeah, I did that actually with my wife, Pam. She was taking the bus to, it was like 45 minutes on a bus, and she was reading. She was going to school, right? And so she'd read and she'd get sick. She couldn't do it. So I worked on her. So that improved it. So now she could like study, for the exam on the way to school. Yeah. Hey, look who's got a picture. That didn't take long.
No, it didn't take long. Okay. A little feedback. You know what? I'm going to work with CDAR, Chuck, just because he withstood the sting. He withstood my sting.
Bravo,
you know what I mean by that?
Chuck.
Like sometimes my feedback stings a little bit, but I'm going to check. I'm looking at Chuck's picture right now. Thank you, Chuck. It's Chuck DHIR. I have permission. I am doing this right now. So I'm looking for Chuck. There we go. Am I Michael? No. Am I Michael Dar? Am I Chuck Smith? Am I Chuck Dar? I am. So, I was telling Michael that I want to get over my stubbornness. I don't listen to good advice. I'm also resistant to my spouse's reminders. It irritates me and turns me off, and I get sad. Severity is an 8. I'm 54. I give you permission. Please help. So, you know what? My conscious mind just explained everything to Michael. How many trapped emotions are contributing to all of this behavior that I have? I don't listen to good advice. I don't like when my wife reminds me and so on. How many emotions cause this? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just one? This whole time, Chuck. That's
well, it is a different emotion. It's the emotion of inadequate. And is this mine, my dad's, did I absorb this? Yes. Was I under 50, 40, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34? So your subconscious mind, Chuck, is telling me that when you were 31, 32, 33, 34, you had an event in your life where, what was the feeling?
inadequate.
Inadequate. So something happened and you were in the room with somebody that was having a traumatic experience and they felt inadequate and you absorbed it like we talked earlier. How many swipes to delete this inadequate, absorbed, trapped emotion? 5, 10, 15, 20. So I'm going to delete absorbed trauma of inadequate. Deleting this absorbed trauma of inadequate. Deleting this absorbed trauma of inadequate. On a scale of 1 to 10 before today's session, what was the severity of my resistance? And I don't listen to good advice and getting resistant to my wife's advice and tips and reminders and all that stuff. Before today, the severity was 8, 9, 10. And now it's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Would it be okay for me to be reminded by my wife so I can get things done quickly and easy? Yes, it would be okay. Was that okay before today? No. Is it safe for me to get reminders from my wife about important things? Yes. Was it safe before today? Do I even believe that I can now get advice from my wife without getting ticked off? Yes. Did I before today? No. Am I done? Yes. Well, first, do I have a heart wall with my wife? Yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Indecisiveness. Deleting the heart wall of indecisiveness. Deleting this heart wall of indecisiveness with my wife. Is the next one be A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Deleting A, 4, 4. Deleting this heart wall, A, 4, 4. Now do I have a heart wall with my wife? Do I have any other unprocessed negative emotions that are blocking, stopping me from embracing this new change? No. Do I have any creative insecurity about the development of me accepting information and advice quickly and easily? I do. Is it just creative insecurity? It is. Deleting creative insecurity. Now do I have any insecurity about the development of me being a giver and receiver of feedback, advice, and updates? I do. Anything else I need to do? No. Am I done? Yeah. Okay, Chuck. So now, Chuck, your job is just to kind of notice behavior. What's it like now when your wife is just, the next time your wife says, hey, it's time to just notice, you'll need to notice that. Okay, let's see. Tammy, I think a good thing for you is to hire John and I to work on you. So we worked on your husband. We could work on you. Could we give you a heart wall? We could give a heart wall to your husband with his permission through you. That would be the best way. We like to work on people once here. The purpose of the show is to let people, as many people know about the emotion code, and ideally one session per family, so you can say, holy S-balls, you really made a big change in my husband, and now I'm willing to hire you or John to help get over it.
I got to jump in here. Too late, because I just worked on Tammy.
Oh, did you? Okay,
yeah.
You're more generous than I am.
So I just did husband. I didn't do mom. And there was some insecurity, some peeved, and some conflict. And there's another one too. Yeah. So, I like to improve the relationship. So there might be a bit more there, Tammy. So just see how it goes within the household, and Darren as well over the next few days. And yeah, definitely consider hiring one of us to keep it going. Yeah.
Hey, Chuck, if you're still watching, we're going to hang out for a few more minutes. Let me know if you have a sense or feeling of anything different. It's okay if you don't. Again, this could be the slow release fertilizer technique where you might notice as your wife is giving you tips and advice or reminders how you might respond to that. John, tell people what it takes to meet with us one-on-one with a list of things we can help them with. You got to see today how quickly we're able to correct big problems like life, 13, 14 years of stubbornness and resentment. We're able to delete that for you. Mm-hmm. John, tell them the process, please.
Yeah, who needs that stuff? So you could book a session with us online. We both have online scheduling like calendars where you can go in, set your time zone, find a time, links up to PayPal. And before you know it, we're on a session like this over Zoom or the phone. If you don't want to do video, you can call us. And so I'm at aliveinpeer.com. That's right, below me there. Michael over there is at removetrappedemotions.com. And simple as that. Actually, you know what? The other thing too, we ask you that you email us, a list of things to work on before we get together. So we don't spend 10 minutes talking about what we're going to do because, the session is, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. And, we want to get to work and do as much as possible. And Michael and I both have, a list of things on our website. So that's Michael's there. And so you can just see, what we've seen success with, some of our, good things that we like to work with and help you with. Yeah. And I think
you might even have your own things to add. So you might not need our list, but at least it's, don't come and say, can you correct my seasonal allergies? Because then what do we do in the next 23 minutes? So bring a list, be prepared, and we want to be able to help you with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, we, put a few things, 3 to 5 things is ideal. If there's more, put it on the list. I like to work with, as much as possible, and address as many topics as possible. But I find that it's usually like connected in a certain way. So you work on one thing in life, and then another area gets better. So maybe if you got neck pain and relationship stuff and some conflict with your partner, it's probably connected. So,
and the ideal scenario is to book 2 appointments, right? So we can work on you, get all that done. You can live your life, come back in 3 or 5 days. We'll kind of guide you when we think you should come back. And then we'll get an update on everything. There might be a little tweaking. And by then you'll have thought of some other things you'd like us to work on. But it's really ideal if we can, when people work with me, I send them an email 48 hours later and say, hey, how are things going? And sometimes they say, oh, you know what? My fear is almost gone, but there's still a little bit. So if we had a second appointment, we could clear up the little bit plus work on. So that's the ideal scenario.
Yeah, it comes off in layers.
Okay, great. Well, you know what? We did it today. We're 47 minutes into the hour. We're ending today's show, but we got it. We end up getting some people that came in, and we worked on a couple new people. So thanks for the guys that showed up today.
Yep.
Despite being stubborn, you made it. So, and we appreciate all the wives that got the husbands here to help them out.
Yeah.
And we're here every week, 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 Eastern. We have 101,000. No, not really. We have 149 episodes. There's lots to watch. We're always looking for good topics. So if you're watching the show later, just let us know in the chat. Say, hey, I got a show idea. And if we haven't done it, or if we think it's a hot topic, we will do it again. But there's only 60 emotions on the chart, and we did 152 shows. So there's more than just the emotions on the chart. There's events. And the other thing that we haven't talked about, John, is remember the guy my strangling client? Well, sorry, he's not a strangling client. My client that got strangled. I went back to the event. I didn't wait for it to come up. I said, when did this happen? And I went right to the event. And after I found those emotions, I asked this question. Are there any more trapped emotions that happened before, during, or right after, or afterwards that are still lodged? And there was a couple, not during the event, but later on, a couple of weeks later.
Think about it, and it stirs up more.
Embarrassed about it and stuff. So it wasn't just the event emotions, but stuff that happened after it. So maybe we'll call that specific event. And you know what the beauty of that is? You don't got to tell us anything. You can just say, I'm just going to let you know I was 21 years old. Boom. That's all we need to know. And I think that's why this is such a safe way to help people.
Right. You don't have to talk about
what happened and who was there and why. It's just, some people like to know that they might ask a couple of questions, but I just like to get it done. So get the name and delete it. Okay. Thanks everybody for hanging out with today. We're here next week. And next Friday night, I'm with Helena on the adult show, Saturday with John, and we're looking for a topic to cover next week. You know what? John's picking the topic next week. There you go.
Already got one.
I'm going to avoid myself of responsibility for next week's subject. It's John's choice. John, let's say goodbye to our friends. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great week.